Welcome back as we continue Coach's Corner, and it's time for our Ponca City Wildcat feature each week with the head coach of our Wildcats, Rob Fry. This week, district play begins as Ponca City will go to Enid to take on the Enid Plainsmen, but let's look back at last Friday and enjoy win number 1 of the season for Ponca City, a victory at Shawnee. And Coach, congratulations. Wins are hard to get. Competition's pretty tough, and your guys on a wet night went over and played very well.
They did. I mean, I've been preaching to them all week long and talking to you all on the radio and TV about, the kids have just got to get a W, and that's what finally, happened to us Friday. We went over there and we played well, and what I was just ecstatic about was, first of all, the assistant coaches had a great game plan and all that, and the kids bought into it. And then once we kicked that field goal to get up, two scores, so to speak, I mean, our kids bowed their back and drove the stake, so to speak. And, on defense, we turned around, we shut them down. Then we got the ball back. We went right down there and scored and then shut them down again on defense. So, I mean, that's what, that's what I was excited about and all that stuff was, we got the W, yeah, but it's how we did it. I mean, we just bowed up and we played great defense and we did what we had to do on offense, and the kids were having a good time on the sideline, and that 2-hour bus ride back on Shawnee on I-77 was a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely. And you mentioned, let's start with defense and special teams, two areas that, especially defense, we had played two really good offensive teams the first 2 weeks. But week 3, a big difference. Your defense came up with stop after stop. After Guthrie scored an early touchdown to take a 6-0 lead, they never came close to scoring again, Coach.
Right, and what happened to them is we got to what we're trying to teach the kids to do. That big old back, 230 pounds, we didn't want him going right at us. We had to get him. We had to clog the holes, clog the gaps, and him to go sideways so we could get some white jerseys and some white helmets around him. So, and that's exactly what we did. And we got a hold of him, and then here comes 2 or 3 more, and that's the sign of good defense right there, and then the kids are listening. So, we just go on from here, and then special teams, we had that short high kick, so we couldn't have any return, and then we got a field goal, and things just worked out. We had a punt, nobody got in on the punt blocks and all that stuff, so all around it was a good night, and then offense took care of business and kept the ball. We had some drives that took a long time, and kept the ball out of their hands, and so we just we did what we were supposed to do, and got that W, and then we're getting ready for Enid.
Well, for those folks that were there or listened on the radio, the Wildcats won 24-6, a ball game in which, quite honestly, Rob, we could have scored a couple of 3 more touchdowns or field goal attempts. We missed a field goal attempt, but you mentioned that we controlled the clock, and that's something we had not been able to do in the first 2 games. You were able to control the clock, especially there in the second half when you got a 2-score lead.
Right, and that's what I was talking about, driving the spike. I mean, we controlled it offensively. We had the little first, dink first down here and a dink first pass there, and then a run there, and then right there at the end where I think it was 3rd and 10, and we got some great protection from the line, and Tyler Wilson got over there on the sideline and got 11 yards, great catch, and a great run afterwards to keep the clock running and stay in bounds, and things were just gelling for us that night, and that's what needs to happen. We've got to have some luck, plus we got to play well, and it's just I feel so great for the kids that that's what they needed, and then it'll make life a whole lot better.
Derek Ewing had a big game for you, Coach, with 6 catches and his touchdown catch, which eventually gave us the lead with the extra point. Pretty good play where he bounces off of a tackler and outraces everybody to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, what is he, 5'8", 160 pounds, soaking wet, and he doesn't care, if he goes across the middle or not. He's across the middle there, and Brent throws him a strike, and he catches it, and we preach to our kids all the time about wrapping up, and that's what they didn't do. I mean, they hit him, but he kept the balance and then took off down the middle of the field for a touchdown. And big play. And it was as a unit, they did a great job.
It was from that point on that the Wildcats would score another touchdown to lead at halftime. Ponca City kicked a field goal and then scored a late touchdown on a run by Kid Heron to wrap it up at 24-6. So, Coach, you're 1-2 now on the season. You got that all-important Week 3 victory, which leads you into district play. And this week, Ponca City's district opener is at Bruce Selby Stadium in Enid. always a very, very difficult, I mean maybe the most difficult place to play ball game.
It is. I mean, it's tough. I mean, they do a great job over there. Their coaching staff does a great job. We've been talking all week, and I even got a phone call from one of them this morning. But, you know, you start districts, everybody's 0-0. Doesn't matter. You wipe the slate clean, and it's a real tough place to play. And, you know, they're, you know, not quite as good as they have been, let's put it that way. But, I mean, they're a good football team. Now, you know, I sit there and say that, and people are sitting there listening to this, and they're 0-3, okay? But they played Bishop Kelly out of Tulsa, who's ranked in the top 5 in 5A. They played Midwest City, who's ranked number 3 in 6A. Right. And they played Guthrie, who's ranked number 2 in 5A. So, I mean, there's some Waspers that they played now. I mean, some good football teams. So, you know, hopefully they're a little beat up and all that stuff. But, you know, we're gonna get the game plan ready for this week, and we're going to go over there because we want to be 1-0 in district. That
first 3 games, there's a psyche about that, because I can remember when we used to play Union, Jinx, and somebody else real. You can schedule yourself however you want to. You choose to schedule teams that probably on a yearly basis we're going to be very competitive with. Guthrie's been really good. Right. Sapulpa's about on our level, and then we were better than Shawnee. But if you lose 3 games to 3 good teams and you're 0-3, don't you think, Coach, that as you hit the first month of the season, you're a little bit down to be 0-3 and you've worked as hard as these boys do?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a head game then. You know, you're right. I mean, we can't win. We're 0-3. Right. But, you know, as a seasoned coach here, we understand that. But you're right. It does deal with 16, 17, 18-year-old kids' heads. And, you know, hopefully it's working on them. And, you know, I mean, you know, I know those guys real well, but, you know, come Friday night, I want to beat their tail ends. And then we can go back to being friends after that, after Friday night. But, yeah, it does. It's a mental game for them.
It's a great opportunity for our team when you look at our schedule. Enid's 0-3, although we have to go there. It's a great chance to open up district with a win, Coach, and, you know, a little bit of momentum. And that's all you talked about last week was if we could just get, in your words, the W. You got that now. Now let's see what they do with that.
Right, and you're right. Let's take that momentum. Let's go with it this week. Let's go over there and play the best game possible that we can. Bring our A game with us because it is district time. And I mean, it'd be super to be 1-0 in district. I mean, you know, I mean, that feather in our cap to lead us to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. But you know, we got the Enid Plainsman this week, you know, to think about, and then they're going to be good. They got some speed, and they run offense, typical ours. And, you know, we've got to cover, they've got a 6'3" tailback or receiver that is good. And so we're going to try to do some things with him. And we've got that W. We've got, you know, mentally, and now we can move on from there.
Absolutely. And it's a great rival game, Ponca City and Enid, 7:30 at Selby Stadium in Enid. We hope to see you over there. And, Coach, to you and your coaching staff and the players, great job. 1-2, the Wildcats against the 0-3 Enid Plainsman Friday night. For Coach Fry, Phil Turney on this week's edition of Coach's Corner.